How do everyone? Yes, we are back. Another potty, an Easter Monday potty. How are you doing? Very well, I hope. I am joined. It's a male orientated show today. You know what I mean? JB, how are you doing, JB? Are you good? Are you well?
Very well, thank you. Bank holiday Monday. How could I not be doing well?
I know.
It's been
Did
brilliant.
have you had a nice Easter holiday over there?
Indeed, yeah. Was big roast yesterday, and today we've been doing absolutely nothing at all.
Lovely.
I've just been editing a video in my pajamas for most of the day. So
see, when you see that, you know, like editing a video for most of the day, it shouldn't take you less than 20 minutes, man. Bang.
3 hours? I think it was I had like an hour and 20 minutes of footage.
I mean, I even messaged you. I loved the, what do you call them things? The beanstalk grow things.
The beanstalk.
What are they called?
Like that. They should rename it. JB and the beanstalk. The greenstalk.
Greenstalk, yes.
Yeah.
No, it was good. It was a good one. And I like, JB, that you actually gave it, you know, when you said, and it does look like it's difficult to plant into it.
Yeah, that was.
Do you know what I mean?
My own fault.
How do you get? Especially
you just meant to do it beforehand. It was my own fault.
You meant to do it before. Right.
Yeah, the thing is, I assembled it all about 4 days before I planted in anything because I wanted to do the planting on the video and talk about it a bit.
Well, wait on before you start. Let us just say hello to Mark.
Yes, sorry.
Well, Mark's there.
Carried away.
He's like one of them school kids at the stand on the back of the wall waiting for someone to ask them to dance. How are you doing, Mark?
I'm all good, yeah, tip-top.
Yeah. Good, lads. Nice to see you on here as well. Yes, with lots of gardening talk today. None of this meal talk of last week, Wednesday. We're
none of that
talking
nonsense.
Gardening now. So
I missed that one.
Right, so go on, JB. Tell us about it. So you meant to actually plant the stuff in, then I guess carefully plonk another one on top of it.
Yeah. I mean, you can do it the way I did it, but you just have to, you can only do it with small plugs. Anything bigger than one of the 3-inch pots or what have you, you're going to be struggling to get it in there. So you can just, while the layer is not stacked, just plant it in then. But you've still got to position it quite carefully because, like you say, a few people in the comments said it's basically a 2-person job. If you plant it up and you've got quite big plants, you need a person either side.
Right.
Go, whoa, the chili. Whoa. Don't break the tomato,
So does each container just sit on the compost?
It sits on the compost and then there's a clip. So there's a special clip and it sort of sits on the one underneath it.
Right. It's just when you actually did rock it and I went, oh, that rocks more than what I thought because I thought it would have been like a clip, clunk, clip into something.
Yeah, I don't know if I did the best job of explaining. That was before I realized that there was soil in the clips.
Right.
So that's why they hadn't sealed quite properly. That was actually quite annoying having to half dismantle it again to rake out all the compost that had got in the clips. So I think definitely easier if you can get 2 people on it because you won't have that problem either.
What are we going to fill in it then?
Honestly, I need to exercise restraint because all I want to do is fill that entire thing with strawberries.
Why not?
I've got such so much excitement about finally growing strawberries and the temptation to just literally fill all 42 pockets or however many it is in there and just strawberry plants is pretty tempting.
So if it was strawberries, then why not just put it on your patio at home?
Birds and slugs. I've never had a strawberry. That's not true. I've never had a good substantial crop of strawberries homegrown. I've tried to grow them for years. You just think, oh yeah, they're nice and easy, and they always get shrouded out by weeds. I never net them for the birds, and the slugs love them as well. Not the plants, but the actual strawberries themselves. I find they're normally. You see one, right? Like this lovely, shining, red, glossy strawberry. You pick it and you turn it around and half of it's gone. The slugs already had it. And chuck it away.
Mine, that would be, honestly, that, JB, if that was filled full of strawberries, that would be like
would look brilliant,
unreal. Do you know what I mean? That'd be
know.
like gardening, like you hit like Nirvana. You know what I mean?
It's really tempting. I'm trying not to do that. So I have sowed. I don't have many plugs that could really go in like now ready. So I've been sowing lots of things, a few herbs, basil,
Nice.
that sort of thing. It's now too hot in the polytunnel for salad crops. Really, I put a couple of bits of lettuce in there, but I think they'll just kind of bolt. But I think it'd be really good for sort of January, February, doing stuff like pak choy and spinach and that kind of thing in there as well. But a lot of people say they're really, really good for herbs. And yeah, we'll see. I'll just treat it like I do everything else on the allotment as space that needs to be filled. And when I pick up something that needs to go somewhere, I'll go, this could go in the green stalk. I hadn't thought about that.
I'm tempted to get one, to be honest, JB, after watching the video. You know what I mean? It was just, it is that. Mind you, I wonder how much it would cost. Just if you went to a garden centre to buy strawberry plants, how many pockets have you got there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it's 42, but I can't actually remember. It might be more.
You know what I mean?
But I think I've got 42 in my head. Someone will correct me in the live chat.
Well,
but
I was going to say, what costing. I mentioned it on when I was doing. I planted one tomato in my quad grow. How much the tomatoes, like a single tomato, would cost me? I mean, I've just paid nearly £70 for compost. The quad grow was on top of all that. How much a single? Melanie came back from Costco the other day. Well, I'm not joking. A tray about that big by about that wide, full of lovely red tomatoes like that. £3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I was in Aldi at the weekend just there, but JB, Aldi's like a super. It's like Waitrose, but where the peasants go.
Yeah, it's
I
best.
have an Aldi planter in my video, Mark. I have an Aldi planter. I know all about it. Thank you very much.
But I was
He
in there.
didn't go there. He waited in the car park and sent somebody in for it. Do you know what I mean?
His driver went in. But they were like there was veg in there the weekend. It was like 8p for a broccoli, and like 8p for something. I was like, what's the point? 8p for a whole pack of broccoli, not just like a little bit either. It was like a big old sort of head of broccoli. I was like 8p a shot, and there was another couple of things, and I was in, I think it was Sainsbury's as well, and they were obviously trying to do it as well, but they were 15p, so a bit more expensive over in Sainsbury's.
There you go.
It's scary cheap, isn't it?
I mean, obviously that's just for like the Easter holiday, that kind of Easter Sunday lamb roast, nut roast kind of meal. Did you have it, Mark? Did you have a nice Easter Sunday? Or did you make yourself a Sunday dinner? Did you go out or?
Mine was quite similar sounding to JB's. Actually, we didn't do loads. So Robbie was over, and I did a wee Easter egg hunt for him. So I had eggs all over the place. You had to go and find them. Then my mum made Sunday dinner, so went and had Sunday dinner. Then back home, we've been a bit lazy. We've been a bit lazy today. We've not done much. We've walked to Tesco and back, and we've played a lot of Minecraft. So big into Minecraft at the moment because the Minecraft movie's been out.
Have you took it to see it yet? Have you?
Movie. I've been to see it yet. I mean, it's all right. It's a bit. I don't know. He loves
it. It's not for you, Mark.
So Minecraft's the game of the day at the moment. So we've been Minecrafting.
Apparently, there's rumours they're taking live chickens into auditoriums now. They're kind of
there's a scene in it where there's a chicken and there's a baby zombie rides the chicken, and it's a whole Minecraft thing, and they call it a chicken jockey. And apparently, the cinemas are like erupting when this happens, and the thing everyone's going nuts. It's been a whole thing, like so. I don't understand it myself, but apparently, chicken jockey is a thing in Minecraft.
So, what? Just out of curiosity, Mark, is your mama good? Is she good? I don't like blasphemy or anything like that. Is she good Sunday dinner cooker? Can she deliver the goods?
Clearly, the best, Tony. Obviously, the best. Everybody's mum is the best Sunday dinner cooker.
I bet our gravy's just like liquid gold.
The best, brilliant. I love gravy as well. I love gravy on anything, honestly. But bit of gravy, roast potatoes, mashed potatoes, peas, carrots, parsnips, all the full works. The full works.
That sounds lovely.
Was good.
Sounds lovely. Sounds lovely. Have you, Mark, any gardening? Have you been kind of
I've been there or been busy? It's in a weird place at the moment. I'm getting a bit annoyed with it all because the the greenhouse is getting really, really full. It's rammed at the moment.
Yes.
And the inside's rammed as well, under the grow lights, the windowsills and all that. And it's just on the cusp of like putting stuff out. I need to shift stuff out of the greenhouse, like the beetroot and stuff like that, and get it out of there and get it into the ground at the allotment to clear space in the greenhouse, because eventually I'll probably take the tomatoes and stuff like that out of the house and into the greenhouse I'm talking into May before I do that. So they'll get a week probably in the greenhouse before they go up to the polytunnel. But it's just getting it's just all a bit crowded. It's all just a bit busy in there.
Well, it's funny. It's just what JB said there, mind you. Like, it's too warm in the polytunnel for salads. I went in the day. Now we've got a really cold wind going round. Do you know what I mean? It's like that's the same thing. 12 degrees feels like 2. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you get in the polytunnel, it was lovely and warm.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You don't get that feels like in the polytunnel. So I took my beetroot up, Mark. I put it out. You know what I mean? I put a few things out there. So we just
maybe it's this weekend, I think. So maybe it's this weekend coming. I'll go up and more carrots. I've got some more carrots to sow. So I've got some.
I haven't sown carrots outside yet, or because I normally sow direct peas outside. Now I haven't done that because that is a little bit cool. Do you know what I mean?
I've got peas in the greenhouse, but I tell you what, I did two different types. There was Hurst green shaft, which have been brilliant. They've all come up, and I did the other one. I've mentioned these ones to you before. I think the Blau Shocker or something, the purple and green sort of ones. Appalling germination, absolutely rubbish. And brand new seed this year, brand new seeds bought in. Give them a try. Put them in, like you say, Hurst green shaft. Whoosh, off they've gone. Those Blau Shocker ones or whatever they pronounce it.
What company did you get them from?
I think they were both the black. I'm murdering the name, honestly. The purple and green ones, we'll call them, right? The purple and green ones were Premier Seeds Direct, I think.
Right.
And I think the Hurst green shaft are Thompson and Morgan. But I get loads of stuff from Premier Seeds Direct, and they're absolutely smashing. Generally don't have a jot or bottle with them, but these peas, honestly, you'd be lucky out of about 25 cells, half a dozen.
Wow.
I reckon have come up. Whereas the Hurst green shaft, about the same. There's maybe 2 or 3 cells haven't germinated. All the rest of them have come up and are away. It's rubbish.
Stick to the traditional. It makes sometimes, you know what I mean? It kind of makes sense sometimes to just,
I'm thinking to replace them. I need to get some beans on the go. I think that's my next thing to get on the go. Beans and squash as well. I need to squash on the go.
Tell you what, I haven't. Ian said he was going to send us one down. I don't know if he kind of forgotten, Ian. Cucumbers. I've got this frame of mind now that I don't I'm not sowing anything because I've been poorly. I've been up, you know what I mean? And I don't need to sow anything. But I'm relying on, you know what I mean? He basically sent us the picking seeds. Just put them in now and they'll be up, you know what I mean? But see how it goes. Have you got any cucumbers, JB, going?
You know what? So I did like an early sowing of my courgettes and cucumbers. And it was only when I was editing my video today that I realised those cucumbers have been planted for over 3 weeks now.
Ooh.
And there's not much germination at all.
Oh, really?
So I've got, I might need to redo all my cucumbers. It was kind of dregs of the seeds. I still haven't actually done a seed order this year. So I have had some fresh seed from Grown Local. Thank you very much, Ian. But I've been pretty much like, okay, it's time to just clear out the seeds this year and get rid of the stuff that's been kicking around 3 or 4 years, which has generally been pretty good. But there are a few where it's like, oh, it's showing the germination of stuff like the cucumbers. And I'm really annoyed at myself because all the cucumber packets that I had left over, it's like 1 or 2 seeds in them. Like, why have I done that to myself? I just, when you scan through your seed packets and you got like, oh yeah, I got like 10 packets of cucumbers. What? How are yours doing, Tony?
I haven't got a thing. But I might sow 1 or 2. Do you know what I mean? It's just wait and see. But
well, definitely not too late for cucumbers, though, isn't it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I could slip to the garden centre, to be honest. But Ian did promises. I've got some show and tells to show you. Last week I showed the grafted tomato. It was like that the French word, but it was like beef tomato in French.
All right, yeah.
Well, one of them, how there's sometimes you get like a split stem and it goes into two. Well, I snipped it, and I've got it in a glass of water. So I want to do like, I did this a couple of days ago, so it's kind of looking all right still.
Nice.
It'd be nice to do like a comparison to see what the grafted version is compared to like a normal, if this kind of
of course.
takes,
right.
you know what I mean?
Good idea.
So
that's a great idea. I hadn't ever really thought about that. The fact that the side shoots aren't grafted, aren't they? They're just going to be the old.
Yeah. And I've got
parent. Interesting.
So this is me smallest chili. This is a Ring of Fire. Now, bear in mind, these were sown on the 5th of February. That's my smallest one.
It's healthy.
Yeah. Oh, it looks all right. I think they got knocked. Yeah. JB, I don't know what. And this is a jalapeno, and this is my biggest.
Oh, hello.
That's looking all right.
That's probably about, I don't know, 10 inches, do you think? Right.
That's the good stuff.
So
nice.
They'll be going up to the polytunnel tomorrow.
Oh, I saw you.
I was like, I didn't know you had heating in your polytunnel.
Find it's we're getting to that what you said, Mark, that stage where come on, you know what I mean, isn't it? It's like come on.
I think that must be like one of the defining differences about being on the South Coast, I think, because I'm not quite getting to that stage yet. Most of the stuff that I'm looking at can go out, like all my salads and my beetroot. I'm really not concerned about I can start putting out, like I've been planting sunflowers yesterday, stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a small risk, but it's feeling like a really nice mild start to the season. So it's still too early for chilies and maybe aubergines, but everything else.
Have you got no cold nights like in your 10-day forecast? Have you not got?
Like
maybe. Look, that's what that look is. There.
This is optimism. It's been definitely like a bit grayer, but that normally means it's warm.
You're meant to set an example.
Guess our low at the moment, 9 degrees.
Oh, right.
9 degrees.
It's because that's what you get with the cloud cover. You get it, much milder. So it's really cool down in the day, but generally it's the sunny days that you have to worry about down here anyway. That's where I've been a lot more nervous, but it's looking pretty good.
Well, I'm just looking at the forecast now. The lowest we've got over the next sort of 10 days is 3 degrees overnight. So we're still a little bit chilly. Just a little bit.
You're north of the wall, though. Do you know what I mean? You've bloody got...
I know.
You've still got snow on roundabouts, you.
I was saying the end of the month, I think I was saying the other day, Tony, on my way down to London for work for a few days, and we're looking at the weather, and it's like 19 or 20 degrees, and we're like, Jesus, whoa, 19, 20 degrees, what's going on?
Yeah. No, it's been really nice down here.
It's crazy.
Mark, are you doing any, you're not now, say, still DIY garden, are you finished that and we're now concentrating this year on, or have you still got jobs, tasks to do that could do with a drill up there?
There's always something, Tony. There's always something. But there's all the beds. So in my infinite wisdom for Audrey's arrival, I thought, right, I'm going to paint all my wooden beds. So I was actually, JB, I was thinking about the colour. I picked a different colour. I went for like a grey sort of colour in the end. Okay, and my theory was, because I think I'd read it somewhere, that if you've got a dark coloured bed, when you've got flowers or plants in them, it really makes the colours sort of pop because the beds are dark underneath. So I went with like a dark grey sort of colour. And I thought, right, let's go all these
Chelsea flower show. This is what this is going for.
Oh, my back was knackered at the end of it. Absolutely. I'm still suffering. It's still sore now from doing it. And I was like, well, that was a stupid thing to do all in one go. Why didn't I just do a few of them one day and a few of them the next? But I've got to... I can't give anything away just yet, but I'm in a bit of a funny place. I've got a secret plan.
I know the plan.
There's another plan. And it might come off, it might not come off, but I don't want to let the cat out of the bag just yet. So I'm stuck in a really weird place that I don't want to do too much, but I want to do enough kind of thing. So in terms of growing stuff, planting stuff out, no bother whatsoever. But in terms of work, like big projects and stuff like that, probably just on hold a little bit. Just on hold.
Yeah.
But it could be, Mark.
I hate it.
It could be the biggest project you've ever done.
It could.
It could well be.
It could evolve into something ginormous.
Oh, this secret plan. It could be astronaut. It could be huge. Oh, you know what I mean?
I know. But that reminds me, I need to chase somebody up about a thing next week about that. To see if there's been any progress on the secret plan.
On the secret plan. You know what you're just saying there though about, because I find now, you know, like say painting beds, if I ever did it, I find it easier now to get a nail mat out and just go around beds with, you know, like a nail mat. Do you know what I mean? Instead of, you can do 2 or 3 like bent down like that, but like you say, it just butchers your back.
Oh,
do you know what I mean? It's just like you kind of
try to stand up again or do something. You just feel it was all the muscles right along the bottom of my back because I've been sort of doubled over kind of for a couple of hours, sort of painting and doing all this. And they only did a second coat as well, so I've got
I was going to ask how the paint went on,
at some point. So I don't know. I should have hired a man to come and do it, but you do these things yourself.
I did a 2:00 in the morning buy again. You know, like you kind of, you know, you wake up and you're looking on Amazon. I bought Michelle. Do you know I've got a little mini? I'll call it a mini flame gun up there.
I dread to think what you've bought.
Well, I bought a professional flame gun. So the reason here is out, gentlemen. The reason being, I've got a big Calagas canister. You know what I mean? It's probably about 2 foot big. Them, you know what I mean? That kind of size, by that size. Now, when I do my little flame gun with the little aerosol, it's great. But if you're doing a bed, it's, you know what I mean, like, you're on forever, like, you know what I mean?
It's because they're not designed for beds, Tony.
You know what I mean? Well, exactly, JB. Exactly. So I bought a professional one that you connect to a big gas canister, big thing, which you see them on the roads. You ever seen them on the roads where they take up the white paint? So now 2 things. I think there might be a bit of a downfall with this. One, if I didn't plant anything, it would be the best weed killer in the garden. It'll kill everything. The only thing is, I don't think it'll be able to go. Once I bought it, I realised that's not going to be so good going round onions. So it sends out, I think, like a jet, probably about 6 inches wide, like flame jet. But then you're not going to be able to go around your broccoli and anything like that because it's just going to.
You can have fried veg.
Take everything out. You know what I mean?
Just out of interest, Tony, in your allotment, do you happen to have a spare cover for the polytunnel, just in case, just in case anything might happen?
What did I do? Oh, it wasn't a polytunnel. It was with the little flamethrower. It went straight through me plastic netting once. You know, like brassica thing. I know that was quick. Didn't expect it to go through there so quick.
Perfect butterfly-shaped hole.
Yeah. So, you know, I get so frustrated with weeds. That's probably my biggest frustration. And now, Mark, I'm into that zone where you were with, you know, your bark on the paths.
Oh, right, yeah.
And the weeds are coming through there. And I'm at that. And I watched Dan on, you know, Allotment Diary. And I noticed Dan has just got the membrane on his paths. He was planting some shallots or something. I was going to ask you, because I think, do I scrape all that off, but then I need to find somewhere to put it down again, or do I just leave this plastic?
Well, I've got 2 paths, like just between the beds, just so they're about, like, I don't know, 10 foot long or whatever. And I've scraped all the bark off, and it's just got the weed suppressant fabric on it. Mm-hmm. So the weeds, I'm trying to think of this. So I use wood chips, so fresh wood chips all over the plot. So you walk on it. And after about 2 years, scrape it all up, and it makes brilliant. It's brilliant compost. It's absolutely blooming marvelous. I saw Terry King did it originally. I was like, brilliant, we'll do that. So it's brilliant. It's a pain in the arse to to look after it and replace it all the time. But we get free wood chip, chuck it down, blooming marvelous. And the weeds don't come through the fabric. So when you're squashing down the bark or the wood chips and it starts to turn into compost, it obviously weed seeds blow about and stuff, and the weeds grow in the compost that's been created, and it's a pain in the arse. But I've cleared 2 paths. But when it's wet, it's really slippy on the weed fabric, the plasticky weaved sort of weed fabric stuff, and it does a grand job, brilliant, but slippy as any in the wet, really dodgy, really dodgy. So I wouldn't. I've just got the 2 paths because I was
hence
thinking about
the
putting
flamethrower. Hence the industrial flamethrower. Now, the possible snag is, though, these paths now are at that stage, Mark. They're so well rotten down, any naked flame, I might have a zigzag path of, like, you'll see it from space. You know what I mean? You might really...
You never thought about doing gravel, like just getting like a couple of ton of gravel and just putting that down?
I think, see, my weeds are coming from... I'm noticing, you know, when you kind of, and especially now when I'm digging, there's a lot of like throwover soil from the bed when you're digging. Do you know what I mean? And I'm thinking, that's just soil going in there begging for something to grow in it. Do you know what I mean? So I think that would be the same.
Grass path.
Imagine that.
No.
Oh God, yeah, no, they are. There's no perfect solution. Slabs are the perfect solution. I reckon.
Yeah.
They're the only properly low maintenance solution. I think my wood chip paths that I've done are just on cardboard. I didn't do any weed membrane, and they've held up surprisingly well, so long as I keep topping up the wood chip. But the problem is we don't get wood chip anymore.
Well, that's
so I'm really like, I don't really know what to do now, because it's been like a really long time since we had any wood chip, and I don't know if we're going to have any anymore. And yeah, I don't love the idea of the black plastic, but like mowing those paths and everything and weeding them, it's a real energy sapper, you know.
The one thing though with the flagstones, what I noticed when I did mine, you know, one side, you realise it's a lot of concrete. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're losing nature loads. You know what I mean? When I stood up there and I went, oh, I'm so chuffed to bits with myself, and I kind of went, oh God, it's a little bit industrial. I mean, it's all, you get used to it. You know what I mean? Because that's why I did one side wood chip, one side, and would I flag? I probably would flag the other side now that the weeds are coming. But we will see what this £100 flamethrower's going to do.
I can't wait for this video, Tony. I can't wait to see it.
I'll probably friggin' blow myself up, man. Do you know what I mean?
Could you do it live? You could do a live stream from the plot, and we could all just watch it. It'd be absolute YouTube gold.
There's a lot of
marvelous.
I think it'd be nice to do, like, say, on paths and a little bit sneakily on the other side, you know, where that weed garden is, you know, like just like Mother Chucker burn all that away, and then the actual path at the front where I kind of walk up to the garden, just because I could, you know what I mean, you can like weed kill, but I did that once before when I first got it, and I killed the neighbour's raspberries, you know, because their raspberries kind of came up, and so. But I mean, their raspberries are coming into my garden, so I've got to kind of, hence the
guy.
It's very frustrating.
The guy up from me, the guy on the plot up from me, all his paths are weed killed. Like, so it's just mud, like, but the weeds grow in it, and he just goes round. He's only just given up his plot this year, actually, but he was dead careful with it. He never sprayed it so they would go near other people's stuff. But his paths, it was just barren. There's nothing like it was Roundup or whatever they used, so it was pretty lethal stuff. But his paths, it just went like that sort of washed out sort of sand. You know, when you kill them with weed killer, it goes that sort of light brown kind of sandy colour, and it's all just dead and just mud all around his. I mean, it's effective. He's got clear paths, but it's just it just looks a bit grim, you know.
It would be nice to know, like, in the comments, what's the ideal path for an allotment.
It's like a never-ending debate, isn't it? I tried to cover it in like one of my beginner guide videos, and I just realized, like, you could talk about it for hours, like the benefits and drawbacks of all the different styles of paths, and I had to like try and condense it down It was like really difficult. One of the hardest bits I've had to do for a video. And yeah, I can't decide. The grass is great if you've got a petrol mower and you've got nice even ground. Then I really recommend grass. But then if it's couch grass, it's gonna come under your beds and start popping up in your beds, and you got to get out the roots, and it's just like, yeah, there's nothing perfect.
Grass wouldn't do me. That would just, like you say, if that started to happen, JB, because couch grass comes in. Do you know what I mean? Comes in from that top bed into me compost bins, and you're thinking, yeah, you know what I mean? Bugger. But
yeah, it's a pain in the
butt.
butt.
Like big clumps, don't you? Sort of that stuff. It's a pain. A lot of composting material, though. If you've got grass paths, great for your compost, though.
Exactly.
It's a lot of green material, though. It's a lot to be taken on during the summer, but.
Do you trim the edges as well, JB? Because you love.
Yeah, so I used to have the petrol mower, which is now out of action, which is really annoying. But a neighbour has a petrol mower that they just said yesterday I could borrow. So I'm like, nice. Yes. They wanted a few little jobs doing on their allotment, but that's fine. That's how it goes. A little bit of bartering. So that's really, really good. And then, yeah, I've got a little battery Black & Decker strimmer that I got, I think, last summer. It's like a birthday present or something, and it's really, really good for just doing the edges. It's definitely the neatest my plotters look now that I do have like edged beds and like an actual strimmer. It's just like, I can't believe I went 3 or 4 years without these things. Do you know what I mean? But I was true.
Surely you must bring them home, do you?
Yeah, I don't leave them up. Well, I used to leave the petrol mower up there because it was like 20 quid off Facebook Marketplace, and it was on its last legs. So I'm surprised I got as many years out of it as I did before it broke. I've got a plot neighbours trying to fix it. So it might come back to life, but I don't know. He said it's quite hard to get the parts. But yeah, the Black & Decker strimmer is super light. I can just walk it to the plot if I'm feeling like it. I don't want to take the car.
What's plans then this week? What's your plans this week for?
So main thing, I think, similar to Mark, like you were saying about the remaining things to sow. I definitely want to get some more cucumbers on the go, but it's beans. I haven't done any beans yet. So I've got more Kalima, which are my favourite, my bush bean, that I'll be getting going. Some climbing French cobra, I think, that I want to get in as well. And Ian sent me some yin yang beans, which last year I didn't get a single one. They all got slugged completely. I'm really, really hoping that doesn't happen again this year. They are the most amazing beans ever. They're black and white, like cow spotted. Right. They're just really, really cool. I definitely recommend getting them. Yeah, if you can give them a go. So yeah, more cucumbers and just watching the weather for the chilies. My chilies, right, are similar. I'm feeling a bit like you, Tony, with you're saying you can't really be bothered to pot on your tomatoes properly and keep them going. Well, my chilies are in those little pots at the moment, little 3-inch pots. And I think I need to put them in 1 litre pots, but I don't really want to do it at home because they'll just take up so much room. So I'm just thinking I'll probably try and get them into the greenhouse a little early, even if it's not optimum. Risk it a little bit with them. Get them into 1 litre pots in the greenhouse where I've got space in the polytunnel and that kind of thing. One thing I do want to do pretty soon is get the autopot stuff all set up before it gets roasting hot in the greenhouse, in the polytunnel, because that's quite often one I leave to the last minute. And then it's normally like mid-May and you end up doing it on a hot day and really regretting your life decisions. So like getting that sort of stuff organized and ready in the polytunnel ahead of time really pays off. Sure.
Is the auto pots are more fiddly on it, the setup than
they are this year because I want to reconfigure them. So if you got it all and you leave it in place, then I would say they're probably less work than the quad grows. You just need to plant up your pots and then put them on the base. But I've got to redo the plumbing and redo the configuration, so a little bit fiddlier. The main thing is I never properly. It's like a push fit connection, right? The blue pipe goes on. It's just a push fit, and oh my god, it's really, really stubborn. It's really difficult. And what you need to do is use hot water to loosen it off. And I've always, every time he needs to bother with that, and I'm doing that, just stubbornly like, I can do this. I now have a kettle at the allotment, a
Right.
little gas heater, so I will finally be able to use hot water, and that should make my
that
life
has its, because I think I might have watched that though, JB. So you've only got to plastically melt warm a quarter of an inch, half an inch, because if you do too much, then it kind of bends and you cannot get the force behind it.
Oh, that's a good tip. Yeah,
you
that's
know
a
what I
good
mean?
tip.
So it's like if you got like say if you stick like say 3 inches in, 3 inches are going to be all wiggly woggly soft, and you cannot. You know what I mean? So there you go.
One way to put it, Tony.
Yes. When it's all soft, it's not going to go. It's not going to push in. I'll tell you that for now.
It's dangerous not having any ladies here, isn't it?
Where's Audrey?
I
know.
Where is actually Mark? Where is Audrey? Is Audrey on the boat?
No. Why? Yeah, she's up in. She's still in Inverness. So they're using Inverness as a bit of a base to go and explore the Highlands. So Inverness is the furthest north city in the UK.
Right.
So where I am in the Central Belt is probably, I don't know, 2.5, 3 hours north of me. So they'll be in Inverness. And then north of Inverness, it's incredibly rural and sort of, there's a lot of decent roads and that, but they were talking about going up John O'Groats and things like that. And you're into single track roads and things like that. So yeah, so good luck. But I think
they're still up in Inverness. We're kind of still right.
Inverness side, so they were there for 8 days.
Right.
And then they're coming back down the west side. So I don't know what the plan was down the west-hand side of the country, but she was off to see Danny from Grow Up and Jane from Jane's Grown Garden. I think that channel's called these days. So a bit of a trek down to that neck of the woods to see what's going on down there.
Right, also. And then she's got the trip back over before she gets back.
I'm assuming not long after that, yeah. I'm assuming that's when she's back down
that's
on the weekend.
Like 7 days, isn't it? Like on the boat back, and then maybe a day or two to get settled before we see her back on the mic.
Oh, indeed.
Mark, are you doing anything in your garden this week then? Are you?
Well, I want to do a little bit more sowing, I think. I need to do a bit of a stock check, a bit of a sort of, almost review what I've got and think what's missing. So, like JB was saying, they're cobra beans. So I need to buy some cobra. I want to do some cobra beans and get some of them on the go. Maybe do some dwarf beans as well. Not sure which ones yet.
I like dwarf beans, to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
Just so easy.
Easy mode.
Yeah.
And I need to do a video as well of the new garden centre. So, like where my allotment is, it was bought out by new people, and they've done all the garden centre. But it's magnificent inside. So it's now called Calder's. That's the new people who own it. So I'd been speaking to them, and I emailed them. I says, "Look, would you mind if I come in and do a bit of a sort of look around?" I goes, "I think people like to see it because I talk about it quite a lot." And it's the guy who actually owns it, a guy called Colin, who got back to us and says, "Oh, brilliant! I would love to, come in. Just let us know when you want to come in and do some filming and have a look around and that." So
that's nice.
I'll probably maybe later this week if I've got time, if I can get away from work early, if I can go in and get some filming done. I might get it done and then get the drone up above it as well and show you what it's like from above and stuff like that. So, I mean, these new people that come in, they must have spent, I reckon they're into the millions on it. Like how much they've spent on it. There's so much being done.
Right.
Because I think the old people who owned it, I would say they were business people who owned a garden centre. And I think these new people, they've got like eight other garden centres or something. I'd say they're garden people though, like they're passionate about gardening and about plants and all that sort of stuff. And you can really, really tell the difference when you go in, like compared to what it used to be, compared to what it is now. It's like night and day.
Nice.
So I think we'll have a little bit of a look around the new garden.
How much is a tomato plant in there? Like your regular money makers, Alicantes.
I don't know, but what I did see on Facebook, I follow them on Facebook, is they've got sun gold in these little plants. I was like, they've just gone up even more in my estimation because they've got the king of the tomatoes in his little plant. So I might buy one just for the sake of buying one to do it. But yeah, we'll see what varieties they get in. I'll go in because if they've got the beans and stuff like that, when I'm doing the video, I'll go and we'll have a look around and maybe pick up a couple of plants and people can see what the plants are like. And it's all you should see inside. Man, it's brilliant inside.
Would it be nice to see like a comparison? Do you know what I mean? Like what it was like and what it is like. You know what I mean?
It was always all right before. I mean, it had stuff that you wanted a bag of compost, or you wanted some whatever you needed for some fish blood and bone or whatever. You ran out and you needed to get some. it was fine, but it was unloved. It was dated. You went in, and it was like something like the floor and that was all like something from the 80s or something. It hadn't been. They spent no money on it. It had problems with flooding and stuff like that at the back of it. And the new people have come in. They've sorted all that out. It's got all this sort of, is it larch they've put on the front? It's all cladded along the front and stuff like that. There's all new, the bit at the back where all the plants are for sale. They've all dug it all up. It's all block paving and stuff out there now. It's brilliant. Like I say, they must have spent into the millions on it, I reckon, to get it done up.
Is it a coffee shop?
There is there's a restaurant. They call it. So apparently it's brilliant. I've not been in, but I might if I go and do a video. I might be forced just so people can experience it. I'll take one for the team.
Yeah,
and
I'll go cream scone. You know what I mean, with a cup of tea,
scone and a cake and a cup there, and just to test it, just to consumer research, just to make sure it's actually all right.
Yeah, that'd be interesting, Mark, to be honest. So with this garden centre, you'd just go to that one all the time. You won't travel to another one if you've got one on your doorstep, would you?
No comment.
Oh.
No, we're quite lucky. There's a few, probably within 20 minutes of my house. We've probably got four garden centres, I would say. And one of them is a Dobbies, which is a... It's all right. I don't mind Dobbies. A lot of people slag Dobbies off. I don't mind it. It is what it is. And there's another couple that are decent. One of them's really good. One of them's actually really, really good that I won't name. I'll not name it. But the one I go to, the one where the allotment is, it's decent as well. And they give you this little card. So as part of my allotment fees, you get a discount card thing. So you get 10% off bulbs, seeds, compost, that sort of thing. So that's not bad.
And you have one on your doorstep, though. I mean,
it's very handy because we can go and use the toilets and stuff like that as well. So if you want to go in, or if you're covered in clarks, you can go in and get washed up and stuff like that. So,
I'd just be having scones every time I was up at the allotment. Yeah, just go for a scone. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be bothered with the allotment. Do you know what I mean?
Just go in there
just have a scone.
We've got quite a nice one near us now that it's probably like 5-10 minutes drive away, but it's in Gosport. But opened a few years back, and it's really nice. It's really fancy, decent coffee shop. But like no produce. As soon as it gets to spring and summer, it's all just flowers and shrubs, roses, and all that kind of stuff. We went a few weeks ago, and I thought, I might just pick up a few bits, maybe some brassicas, onions, nothing. Nothing at all. They had some very expensive strawberry plants, and that was about it. Their potatoes out and that kind of thing. But yeah, not a big produce garden centre, so a bit of a shame. But I mostly go to Maggie's.
We are second-class citizens when you come to veg in garden centres. You know what I mean? It's all like bushes and shrubs and, alpines and all that.
Got to make that money, though, I guess. I know a lot of people... I mean, I like... I sound really sad. I like a nice garden centre. I like going to a garden centre. I like taking my time, pottering about.
That's called middle age, Mark.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
It used to be the pub. Now it's a garden centre.
But like you're going at Christmas, and it's totally changed. It's full of Christmas stuff for sale and things. But people slag it off. But I don't mind it because these are people's businesses as well at the end of the day. And like... They've got to survive. So obviously over winter, like garden centres are really quiet. Like there's not a lot of people going and buying stuff and that. So if they're selling Christmas stuff or Halloween stuff or whatever, it's just kind of just what they've got to do to survive, isn't it? When in the quieter months.
But the quieter months start in like the beginning of the end of September. They're starting to put up the decorations for Christmas and Halloween, and you know what I mean. It's like as soon as the summer holidays are over, it's Halloween, and then. By God, Christmas is, the black material comes down in one of my local ones, you know what I mean? It's all like, then the trees go up and it's like, you've got to go through this maze of trees and lights before you even get any plants or coffee shop. But, you know what I mean?
We're quite lucky because we've got a nursery in our neck of the woods as well. St. Margaret's Nursery that I found not that long ago, specifically because they were one of the few places that stocked silver grow. around, and it was like a wonderland when we first went in there. It's like a big greenhouse basically with the shop and everything integrated. But that's much more of a plant place. It's less of it's less the sort of place you might take your mum for like a potter around and a coffee, and like less of an experience, but it's more of a like, look at these plants.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But once again, not that much produce.
Right.
Not really a produce place.
I'm lucky up here then, because every one of my kind of garden centres at least has a good section of anything. Do you know what I mean? That's what I say. I pop in there, been picking up them tomato plants and that. But it's even like the veg. Do you know what I mean? You get all different kinds of veg. But I always see still, like carrots. You know what I mean? Parsnips.
Really?
I was thinking, why? Because they're not going to... Actually, I would like to try one just to see if it does, but...
See the work.
Just... Or be all...
You never know.
Gnarly knuckled things.
Yeah. Well, this new one for us, it might turn out, it might have loads of produce when I go and do my little tour. I'll have a look. But I've got a few. I've got 3 videos waiting to be edited. Actually, I've got 3 done, and they all need edited and put together and put out. So I might go if I go and film it. That's my light going again.
It's not just me.
It's stormy up there. You got lightning.
That's the owners. That's the garden centre. People going in here saying something about this. Send it.
Cut the power.
Get them off. But we'll have a look around. Yeah, they might have loads of. Like I say, the Facebook, they had like some gold tomato plants for sale, and when I saw that, I was like, bloody marvellous, brilliant.
It's lovely when you do see a garden centre that has got unusual tomato plants. Do you know what I mean? And little kind of odd, instead of like the usual ones. So,
aye.
I think we might as well call it a day. I don't know how actually my timing's all. It says 30 minutes on this one, but I think it was like 30 minutes on the other one as well, maybe. So that could be coming to an end. JB, where can we find you, sir?
You can find me at NaturallyJB on YouTube, Instagram, and Patreon.
There you go. And Mark?
You can find me at Mark Seligman Plot on YouTube, Patreon, Instagram, TikTok, and the occasional garden centre.
There we go. Ladies, check the garden centre. You could see Mark's garden plot. Yes. Gentlemen, it's been lovely to have you on. Thank you very much. Everyone in the chat, thank you again. It means a lot to us. Sorry for the little hiccup. Hopefully you will not see it, so you don't even know what I'm talking about. Look after yourselves. Take good care. Toodle bip. Bye.